Hey, Cliff here with Temple Builders. Just wanted to share with you this special message regarding the emails that I've been sending about superfoods. This next workshop that you're about to see is a workshop on the topic of superfoods that I shared with the Accountability Wellness Program. And through the Accountability Wellness Program, this is an exclusive group where we provide a number of different things, such as fitness classes, nutritional coaching workshops, which is one of the workshops that you're about to see through the superfoods discussion, meal plans, as well as a number of other things. You get the community support, the professional support, and everything that you need along your health and wellness journey. So this is something that I wanted to share with you. I hope you enjoy it. Keep building.
So let's talk about it. This is our topic for tonight. Superfoods for the temple. Anybody familiar with the term superfood?
No, can't say that I am.
Okay. All right. Superfoods for the temple. So we're going to talk about a few things as far as what a superfood is. Through this, you'll learn what a superfood is, what it means, types of superfoods to eat and consume, things along those lines there. And then you'll have at the very end some recipes, some extra recipes that you can put into your catalog of things to eat when it comes to eating superfoods. So some of my favorites that I've actually done in the past and done for myself as well. So I'll be happy to share those when we get to them. So here is what a superfood is. So it's not a superfood is not, a banana wearing a cape, right? It is not an apple coming in the middle of the night to knock on your door to ask where the Joker is or anything like that. A superfood is a nutrient dense food, right? It is basically what it is a very healthy food, right? It's got a number of vitamins and minerals and different properties and different benefits that are going to be beneficial for the temple. Okay, so the reason why they call it a superfood is honestly it's for money. It's to make it marketable and make it, make kids want to eat superfoods, right? If you tell me at 7 years old to eat a superfood, I'm more than likely going to eat it because it's going to make me strong like Batman. Whereas if you just tell me to eat mushrooms, I may not want them. I don't want a mushroom, but I'll eat a superfood.
Is
As
that
long
all it took?
it could have. We never.
Sure.
Now we never know.
You tells you now, huh?
now, now we never know.
Mm,
So,
mm,
yeah.
mm.
So yeah, the healthy foods at the time was not my thing, and obviously mom can
Woo.
validate and be a witness to that. So, but yeah, spinach. I wasn't eating spinach, but now it's funny because I'm telling people to eat spinach, right? So it's funny. So this is just a really cool quote that I saw. Superfoods are those that offer exceptional health benefits beyond what you'd expect based on their nutritional profile. That is basically what a superfood is. It's something that, like I mentioned, going to be super healthy for you, going to be very beneficial for you in the temple. So we're going to talk about some of the superfoods. But before we get to that, here are a few of the benefits. So it's going to improve your heart health. It's going to help you in boosting your immune system, prevent different diseases such as cancer or diabetes, cholesterol, and help you out with your cholesterol levels. It's going to improve your brain health, dementia, Alzheimer's. Connections to some of these superfoods have connections to that. It's going to reduce chronic illness and so much more. So you have so many different things that come out of these superfoods that can be beneficial for the temple and help you out in living a healthier lifestyle, a healthier lifestyle that will give you a lifelong journey of health and wellness there. So, um, and that can help you in those areas too. So, here are some of the types of superfoods. Now, this is not a perfect list. Like I mentioned, superfoods are just extremely healthy foods. So if you think about what we what I talked about a little bit the last time we got together. We talked about prioritizing your God-made foods versus your man-made foods. So you have pretty much any natural food is going to be, to a certain extent, in some way, shape, or form, may be considered a superfood. So, for instance, you have berries, you have your dark leafy greens, you have your nuts and seeds, your garlic, your ginger, fatty fish, green tea, lentils, avocado, and mushrooms. I know everybody's not the biggest fan of mushrooms, but mushrooms, when we get to it, they have some amazing benefits. So we'll talk about that soon. All right. So don't feel like you're being rushed, because all of those slides that you just saw, you'll see those again. Okay. So here are some examples of berries and what they do and some of the benefits that come along with that. I don't know if anybody's heard about it, but berries are considered a superfood, and I'm not sure if anybody's heard of how berries have. Has anybody ever heard a doctor or somebody say you should eat more berries?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, Miss Sheila, you're in the healthcare field, so I know you've heard it
Yeah.
plenty of times. Berries, right? Eating berries is very beneficial to the body. It can help with a number of different things, whether you have um, a disease like Alzheimer's or high blood pressure and diabetes. It can balance all of those things out, as you can see here in the slide where it says it can help in connecting your brain neurons so that they communicate better. That's blueberries and strawberries and raspberries and all these different berries that God's created to speak to our brain to help us in preventing dementia, Alzheimer's, and all these other different things. Not only that, but your brain is obviously sending different signals throughout the body for other things that your brain is in charge of. Whether you have different diseases, your brain still plays a role in all of that. So it's not necessarily just for Alzheimer's. It's not necessarily just for dementia, but it can also do a number of other things too. All right, it's going to help in lowering your risk of chronic disease and illnesses, like I mentioned, diabetes. It's going to reduce your cholesterol, help you with your heart health. So those are some of the benefits that you get out of just consuming berries, right? On to the next one, dark leafy greens. So I'm talking spinach, I'm talking kale, collard greens, mustard greens, the good stuff, right? Thanksgiving is not too far away, so I know everybody's looking around for those collard green deals as we speak, right? So these are some of the things that we want to be on the lookout for when it comes to eating some of these uh, dark greens. Now, keep in mind, like I mentioned, this is not a perfect list. So if there are greens that are up here that are in your mind that aren't on this list, you're more than welcome to use those as well. But yeah, so it's not a perfect list, but continue to keep that in mind. Now, more than likely, most of these recipes are probably consumed and most beneficial for you when they're eaten raw.
Mm.
Nobody's going to eat raw collard greens or raw mustard greens.
Your
But
sister did.
in a but as like a sandwich maybe, but at the end of the day, we want to be able to consume these as best as we can with the most nutrition value as we can. However, I'm not telling you go on a raw eating diet, right? um Cook your food however you like. Just, of course, watch the sodium, watch the sugar, watch the fats and the oils and all the other unhealthy things that come along with it. And that applies not only for this, but for everything that we're about to see as well. Nuts and seeds. So almonds, walnuts, cashews, pumpkin seeds. These are all considered healthy options when it comes to your foods because they have healthy fats. We talked a little bit about, if I remember correctly, we talked a little bit about healthy fats last time we were together. So it's going to help you in stabilizing your blood sugar. It's going to help you in reducing your cholesterol. These are not the only seeds. You have, of course, sunflower seeds. Not the David sunflower seeds with all the salt on it, and you want to eat them and then you want to spit them out. Nah, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about, the straight up pumpkin, not the pumpkin seeds. I'm looking at pumpkin seeds as I say it. The straight up sunflower seeds. Best if they are unseasoned. Um, no additives or anything, no flavors or anything like that, because you can always add your own flavors later on. So little pack of salt, things like that. The little pack of salt that you add into a packet of sunflower seeds is going to be much less than the sodium that you get when it's a seasoned pack of sunflower seeds. So sunflower seeds are one, almonds, peanuts, cashews, like is listed here, as well as a number of other almonds and a number of other nuts. You have right here in the bottom right corner, pistachios. Pistachios are great as well. So these are all different nuts and seeds that you can incorporate into your diet.
I love cheeseburger.
It was good, but I'm on a class.
All right. So next we have garlic. Garlic. Yes. So your breath is about to stink, but here's the good news. It's going to keep the vampires away. You're welcome. It's Halloween time. So it's best if it's consumed. It actually releases a chemical if you crush and cook your garlic before consuming it. So you actually release that scent that you get after you crush your garlic or after you eat it, after you cut it up or whatever you do to it. It's actually releasing a chemical that's actually going to help the body a lot. It's going to help the temple a lot more. So with that, it can help in boosting your immune system. It can help in your digestive system. Of course, it can help with your heart health. I'm sure others have heard about this through let's see, American Heart Awareness Month. I feel like that's one of those things that is very common. I may be wrong in thinking that, but I know that I've heard it quite often. So that's the reason why I'm bringing it up. And it also helps you in different diseases and illnesses, such as treating cancer to a certain extent. So then in a similar way, you have ginger, right? So ginger has very similar benefits to garlic, right? You can find the same benefits in garlic as in ginger. I love ginger, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, so these are some of the extra benefits that you get out of ginger as well. Fatty fish, right? So it's not many, like I mentioned, we want to prioritize our God-made foods versus our man-made foods. We haven't seen meats, right? But however, your fatty fish is going to be one of those meats that you want to prioritize when it comes to a superfood, when it comes to consuming more superfoods. Which all of these things, I just want to say this now, all of these things are listed within your within the meal guide that we're working on with the meal plan. You know, all of these foods are listed within these meal plans that you'll be seeing. Now, I'm not telling everybody to eat sardines if you don't like sardines. I'm not telling everybody to eat anchovies if you don't like anchovies, which are all considered fatty fish. But do whatever you enjoy the most. And obviously, there's a budget that comes with it. There's a certain price that comes with it too. So you want to keep that in mind too. So if you can't afford the salmon, go for tuna. If you can't do the tuna or the salmon, and do chicken. You know, it's perfectly fine. Chicken is not listed on this list, but that is something that is considered a lean protein, which will actually be helpful for you, and of course the muscles and everything along those lines. So omega-3 fatty acids, which is a healthy fat, is going to be beneficial for, similar to what we talked about with almonds, which is also an omega-3. Almonds and avocados, which we'll talk about a little bit later, are all considered omega-3 fatty acids, which is the best type of fat that you want your body and your temple to have. So those are some of the things that you need to know about your fatty fish. Then you have green tea. All right, I know I got some Starbucks lovers here, right? Maybe? No? Okay. Oh, never mind. It's okay. So
Costs too much.
I agree. I'm not a big coffee drinker either. So, but green tea is something that that is actually beneficial. So when you go to the grocery store and you see those green tea packages, what I would challenge you to do before you purchase your green tea is take a look at the ingredients. If it doesn't say straight up green tea or straight up natural ingredients, I would recommend not to get it. It wouldn't be bad to get it, but the more natural, the better, right? But you have all these different benefits that are listed to help you when it comes to green tea. In addition to that, if you haven't heard of matcha tea is also beneficial. And the reason why is because matcha tea is made from green tea, right? So the green tea leaves are actually pounded and chopped and turned into a powder, and that's how you get your matcha powder and your matcha tea. So matcha is also considered something that could be um, healthy for you and considered a superfood. Now, again, you want to watch out for the ingredients. You want to watch out for what they're putting into it. So when it comes to going to places like Starbucks, why is Starbucks so good? Probably because they're adding certain things into it. Why are all these different fast food restaurants that are serving matcha teas or matcha shakes, whatever the case, whatever they're serving, why do they taste so good? Probably because they have certain additives in it. And that may not be as beneficial for you as it would be if you got it from the grocery store, if you made it yourself. Now, I'm not saying you need to grow green tea yourself. If you did, I'm not going to be mad at you. But, um, of course, it comes with a lot of sacrifice with the risk and things along those lines. So those are some things that you need to know there about green tea.
Cliff, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, on the green tea, you were saying like, read the ingredients when you find it at the grocery store. Well, one of those places, like what is it, where they sell vitamins and stuff like that, G and whatever, would that be a better place to buy something like that, your green tea?
Like the like vitamin shop?
Yeah, someplace like that, uh-huh.
Okay.
Would
yes.
that be okay?
I'm not sure. I really don't know. I feel like it would be, but even when you look at those packages, like the supplement packages, they still have ingredients listed there too.
Okay.
And it'll tell you exactly what type of green tea it is, and you could always do the research to see, is this the best quality green tea, things like that. Because I've learned this recently through a training that I went to in February, I think. I don't remember when I went, but I went to a training and we had a conversation about supplements. And not all supplements are created equally. The ones that we see at CVS, the ones that we see that are like $12, those aren't the best ones that we can always get. The ones that we really that we probably need the most of, that have high quality ingredients, are the ones that are going to cost a little bit more. So, but it's not to say that the cheaper ones aren't going to help you. It's to say that they may not help you as much as the other ones that are, more on the top tier level. So yeah, so no, that's a good question though. But yeah, I would just encourage you to kind of do the research there, and just if you have any questions, I'd love to help you out and see what I can educate myself in that area too.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Lentils. So not everybody is, and I should add that lentils and legumes should be in the same category. So these are going to be a great source of carbohydrate. These are going to be a great source of protein. So these are your beans, right? These are going to be good foods that can be beneficial for you for heart disease, lowering your blood sugar levels, give you good amounts of fiber and iron as well. So good food there. Food or superfood rather. Then I think this is my last one. You have avocados. I already talked about them a little bit. Here are some of the ingredients that it contains: vitamin E. You have vitamin K. You have riboflavin. You have niacin, folate, and pantothenic acid and potassium. These are all beneficial ingredients and minerals, vitamins and minerals that it all contains. Like I mentioned before, it is a healthy fat. So when it comes to using avocados, when it comes to using extra virgin olive oil or avocado oil, you can always gain your healthy fats using those items to gain your healthy fats to still get the benefits of the superfood itself that's in avocados. Oh, this is the last one. Mushrooms.
Yeah.
Not everybody is a fan of mushrooms, right? I'm not the biggest fan either, but understanding that they are very beneficial to the temple, to the body, has definitely encouraged me to want to eat more. And just finding fun ways for me to consume them is, that's been the fun part of doing this and exploring it and learning more about mushrooms. So I don't know if anybody's heard of lion's mane mushroom or not, but lion's mane is very beneficial for like brain health, where it's going to help you with memory loss as well as a number of other things neurologically. And it seems like, oh man, there's so much research that's come out over I would say the last couple of years about lion's mane mushroom. The most common mushroom I would say are your shiitake and portobello mushrooms. So these are all mushrooms that you can look out for at the grocery store at any point in time. Lion's mane, I don't really see that in the grocery store. Oyster mushrooms, I don't see those in the grocery store either. But you have different they have what like if you go on Amazon, they have mushroom powders that you can put into like your coffee, and they have different flavors. So it's not necessarily that it tastes like you're drinking mushroom but I haven't tried it just yet, but it's something that I'm looking into. But I look to try. I'm looking to get one that's like a chocolate flavor, and I can use it for my smoothies, and make like a protein shake out of it. So, but you'll get those benefits if you get like the powder, which is going to incorporate a number of different mushrooms, from your lion's mane to maybe your oyster mushrooms and all these other mushrooms that you probably never even heard of, and I don't even know how to pronounce them, and I didn't even want to list them here because it was like I'm wasting my time and theirs if I put those on the list. So, but yeah, so mushrooms are definitely something that you want to look into if you are a fan of those. All right, so I know I'm a little over time here, so I apologize, but we're almost at the finish line. And this is the fun part of it all, that I think will really be engaging here. So here are some other superfoods listed that I'm not going to go into detail with. One thing that I will say is just kind of be careful with some of these, right? For instance, your yogurt, dark chocolate, we want to more so prioritize like the plain flavor, or something not too sweet, not too flavorful, right?
Get something nasty.
Well, not necessarily
He
nasty, because you
said
can
not
always
flavorful.
anywho. Anywho,
Mean
um,
nasty.
so what you want to do is you want to prioritize, the most natural that you can get it. Whereas when it comes to, for instance, like your yogurt, what the type of yogurt that you want to get, you don't want to just get regular yogurt, but more so like the Greek yogurt. That's something that you want to look more into. When it comes to getting like your plain Greek yogurt, yes, it doesn't taste the greatest at all. But you have all these different things that you can do to make it taste better. Add honey to sweeten it up. Add a little bit of vanilla extract to sweeten it up and change the flavor of it. You can always add blueberries and strawberries to get the benefits that you get from those superfoods. So that's one thing there. When I talk about dark chocolate, I'm not talking about the Hershey's dark chocolate version, because that is the Americanized version. That's the version that that everybody's gonna love, because it's got sweetness to it. But what you want to look for is the dark chocolate that you get in that special aisle. When you go to CVS and it's kind of tucked away in the back corner, and it's like, oh man, that's some expensive chocolate. That's the chocolate that you want. And here's the reason why. Because those chocolates are made from the cocoa powder and from the actual cocoa tree. Whereas the Hershey's chocolate, it comes from the cocoa powder and the cocoa tree, but it's got all these different additives and the extra sugars and all the different ingredients to make it taste really good. And at the end of the day, it's not really doing as much help as we think it is. So when people say, oh yeah, dark chocolate is healthy, yeah, they go grab a Snickers or a Hershey bar and they think, oh yeah, I'm doing good because I had dark chocolate. That's not the case. The case is, here's the thing. You want to go get the dark chocolate that says it has a percentage of how much cocoa's in it. It's going to tell you how much percentage is going to be in the cocoa. If it's less than 50%, that means it's going to have more. It's going to have a lot of sugar in it, or more sugar in it than not. So the higher the percentage, the more cocoa you get, which is going to be more beneficial. Now, the downside to that is the higher the percentage, the more bitter the chocolate. So it's pros and cons to it. I remember I got maybe like a 90% dark chocolate one time, and I ate it. I was like, this just tastes like a brick, you know. So there's pros and cons. There are different pros and cons that come with it. However, what you could do, one thing that I would say is you could always, like I mentioned, just kind of spice it up. So if you get dark chocolate, you could use that same piece of dark chocolate, make a smoothie out of it or something, and put it in a blender, throw some honey with it, so that it is a little sweeter. Um, flavor it up. I don't know any exact recipes for dark chocolate, but that's just something that I can think of off the top of my head. So, but yeah, so you got your citrus fruits, which not oranges, lemons, pineapple, excuse me, the whole shebang when it comes to citrus fruits, sweet potato, onion, a lot of your not man-made, your God-made foods, not necessarily your man-made. Okay. All right, the fun part. Here are some recipes that you can use with the superfoods. So everything that you're about to see, you have some different recipes. And if you can't read it, and I know you're probably not going to write all of this, you can take a picture if you like, but I will. Again, these are being recorded. And what I'll also do is I'll make sure that you have these at a later date.